They can't do that. It's not fair on the women. How can I feed them? I can't let them starve.
It won't go as far as that, but I'm afraid it'll be up to you, Mrs. Morris, and myself to bring the food in from now on. Can you handle that?
Every day, 47 meals.
50. 3 more arriving today.
I don't get agree to such a thing.
See, either you hand over the pills, or I'll play footy with your head. Fair enough?
You reckon I carry Mummy, do you?
Well, let's find out. It's about the silliest thing you've ever done, kid. I'm gonna have to give you a good smack.
Try it. Ah! Come with that again and I'll kill you, bitch! I'll kill you!
I think I found some more of the invoices.
Invoices?
Yeah, you know the ones that have been paid twice. I'm sorry, Mrs. Reynolds. I should have found them earlier, but they go back.
It's all right, really, Julie. Margaret, get Adrian Bullock on the line and call me back, will you?
Get lost.
Gonna have to teach you a lesson, girlie.
Touch me and I'll talk to the papers, Ferguson. I mean it.
Kamal's been tried by better crims than you.
Yeah, but I get out every night. And guess who's waiting for us when the cops drop us off? Journos. Dozens of them. All waiting to know if you lot can turn us into little angels.
Like I said, it's been tried before.
But that was before your girlfriend turned up.
I know it looked bad at times, but to actually decide I was guilty...
Jenny, you weren't found guilty. It was a hung jury. Now, obviously, some of them thought you were innocent.
Well, why couldn't they have convinced the others? I mean, surely what Howie told them about Aunt Harriet and Steve Formby was enough.
Look, you're only making things worse for yourself by going over it continually. The judge has ordered a retrial, and then you probably
I can't bear the thought of having to go through it all again.
Well, you've got to.
Maybe. But I can't survive in this place much longer. It's destroying me.
Didn't they teach you how to fold sheets at them fancy schools? You're as slow as a wet weed.
Of course they did. They also taught me manners and respect for one's elders.
And respect for one's elders. Well, look where it got you. Both ended up in the same place, didn't we?
That's because you're both stupid.
Yeah, says who?
When are you going to get it into that thick skull of yours? We all thought we were too smart to get caught.
Don't think you're any different, do you?
I learn from your mistakes. And from watching a bunch of no-hopers like you pretending to be wise old monkeys. Monkeys, yeah. Wise, forget it.
There's no point giving cheek, Nick.
Well, I'm saying the truth, aren't I?
Well, we've all been round long enough to know that you'll fall flat on your bum if you don't wake up to yourself.
Hey, what's that? Jeez, there's ash all over him. You'll have to wash him again, Granny.
Little bitch.
You better watch your language. You might find a burn mark in it too. You'll have to pay for that, wouldn't you? What was that for?
For being a precocious little brat. Not that I'd expect you to know what it meant. Well, want a chance of paying Granny back, do you?
Fair go. Can't take us all on. Anyway, the screws would be around here now.
Not likely. Lexi, keep neat.
No way! I want a piece of her after what she said. And what she did.
What are you getting so upset about? It was only ash.
Well, I'll teach you, you little
Like
trick.
Oh, check his faces!
Good riddance.
I'm impressed.
Well done, dear.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, I'm glad she didn't stay. I might not have been able to handle it.
That confirms it. Our big tough street kid isn't so tough at all. Not when it comes to the crunch.
Oh, bloody idiot.
Sorry, I didn't see you coming.
Up in your eyes, P-Brain. Like if I'm getting out of here, I'll thump you.
Why are you crying?
I'm not crying.
What's happened?
Claim it, stupid. And forget you ever saw me. Got it?
How long do you think it'll be before food supplies are back to normal?
Tomorrow, I hope. I just have to check the details Julie gave me and then brace myself for the showdown with Bullock.
Look, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but don't you think you ought to go straight to the police? I mean, Bullock is little more than a thug.
You're forgetting Chaucer's threat. He implied he'd have all our heads, and he's just the man to do it.
Well, if you need any support, just give me the word.
I may just take you up on that.
And if he decides to get nasty again?
Then I'll bring in the police, the department, the Prime Minister if necessary, but I am not going to have these women going short of food for a criminal like him.
Let me out of here, you rotten bastard! I hate this bloody hole! You hear me? I hate it! You can't keep me locked in here if I don't want to be! What are you staring at?
It's a bit hard to read with all that racket going on. Hey, girls?
Well, go ahead.
Don't let us stop you.
Hey, Screws, where are you, Screws?
You know, you've wandered a bit far, haven't you? Nothing up here but a locked gate.
Open it, will you? I want to see someone about finishing this stupid idea. I want out.
Didn't you hear me, Kelly? Go on, take your cronies and get back to the recreation room. Anything to say, Miss Ferguson?
Please, Miss Ferguson, I'm sorry about what I said. Look, you win, okay? I didn't mean it. Please let me out. Where are you going? I've got a right to see someone, Ferguson. I've got a right. I've got a right.
Still can't believe it. I have to go through the whole thing again.
Well, all that muck in the newspapers wouldn't have helped. I mean, how anyone's supposed to get a fair trial these days, I just don't know.
But they'll have in the new trial soon, won't they?
At a date to be fixed. Their way of saying I'm stuck in here for another eternity.
Oh, it shouldn't be more than about a month, love.
2 at the most, or 3.
Oh, look, can we change the subject, please?
Why don't you try thinking positive? I mean, half of them pointing the finger at you's better than all of them, ain't it?
That sort of positive thinking she can do without.
Look, anyone would think she was the only person who'd ever been kicked in the teeth. What about me? I shouldn't even be in here.
Well, while you are, don't go making it harder on others.
Just forget it. I'll be in my dorm.
I'll go make sure she's all
Oh, no, you won't, madam.
Leave her be, just for a few minutes.
Sometimes you go too far. You have to learn to be more sensitive to other people's feelings.
Look, lay off, will you?
Of course, as they say, where there's smoke, there's fun.
And what's that supposed to
Well, hung jury. It could mean she's guilty. How do we know what
mean? Don't
went
you go
on?
anywhere near Jenny with those ideas or I'll knock your block off.
Sorry I spoke.
Hey, moron. Want a game? Buck a ball if you're up to it.
Where'd you get to?
None of your business. You in it or not?
I don't know.
Got to get permission from the grannies, do you?
Of course I don't.
Then set 'em up.
How do you reckon the session's gonna go? Do you reckon they'll get rough on us?
So what if they do? You don't reckon I'm scared of Collins, do you? One of them lay their hands on me one more time and they won't know what hit him.
Mr. Bullock?
I'm a very busy man, Mrs. Reynolds. I hope this isn't going to take long.
Do you want me to wait outside, Mrs. Reynolds?
No, I'd like you to stay in witnesses, please, Mrs. Morris.
Witness? What's going on?
I want the scare tactics stopped, and I want that blockade removed. Otherwise, these go straight to the police.
You got nothing on me. The minister destroyed the originals of these himself.
Take a closer look at the dates, Mr. Bullock. It seems your handiwork went back a lot further than any of us thought.
Where are the originals?
In an envelope ready to be handed to the police if you continue to hold this prison to ransom.
Don't get out of your depth, Mrs. Reynolds. Give me hassles and your kid's not going to be so lucky next time.
Is that a threat?
Look, let's not get too worked up about this. I mean, let's work out some sort of compromise that's going to be suitable for everyone.
I want my daughter left alone, and I want food allowed into this prison. Otherwise, I go straight to the police.
But those men are on 12-month contract. It cost me a fortune to pay them off.
The same fortune you ripped off the department, presumably. Well?
How do I know you're not going to hand over the originals?
As soon as food is allowed into the prison, your good friend, Mr. Chaucer, will find these in the mail. And if I were you, I'd consider myself lucky to be let off so lightly.
How long since you've been out with the bloke, Cindy? 2 days? 3 days? A week?
About 3 days.
Well, speak up. We all want to hear.
About 3 days.
And what does he think of you being in here? Proud of you? Does he think you're real smart?
You don't know? Well, that's quite an answer. Hear that, lady? She doesn't know. Clever little thing, isn't she?
She's lying. She ain't got a fella. I have.
Well, what's his name?
Yeah, how old is he?
Tell us the truth, monkey face.
Yeah,
Come on, Cindy, have you got a fella? No? Well, let me tell you, you're never going to get one. Because if you end up in a place like this, no one's going to want to know you. No boy's down to around 5 seconds once he finds out you've got a record.
Yeah, all the rest of your mates either.
Forget your friends, dear. Oh, they might visit you once or twice, but after that, you're on your own.
Yeah, you're on your own.
How would you know, Dumbo?
Speak when you're spoken to, and no one gave you permission to smoke.
Who wants a free cigarette? Let him catch you. Get up.
Sit down, kid, unless you want to leave in an ambulance. That's assuming the freak will let you out. We hear you've already asked her once.
I can handle her.
Oh, same way you handle everybody else, eh?
I say we give her a royal flush.
Yeah. Clear all that nonsense out of her brain.
Is that what you want, Nikki? The whole place against you?
That's what's waiting for you, dear, if you end up in here.
Talk, talk, talk. How would you know we'd end up in here anyway?
Because you're young and stupid.
You're a big girl, aren't you, Nikki? All of 15. Guess that qualifies you as a real expert on things.
I know enough to get by.
How'd you handle a riot? Go running to the officers asking to be let out?
I reckon she'd get bruises on her knees from begging so hard.
I've seen the screws just lock them in and let them fight till someone drops or someone gets killed.
Yeah. You could get more pretty bad, Spud Brain. Your matey's got sense. She knows when to cop it sweet and stay out of trouble.
Oh, let her go, Lou. She'll probably break.
Yeah, that's right.
Save your breath. You coming? I've had enough.
Sit down. We're going over it again, right from the start. Whether you like it or not.
Excuse me, Mr. Pringle. There's a telephone message for you.
Oh, you're allowed to deliver to non-union members, are you?
In case you're interested, it's from your mother. She's worried about you. Frankly, I would be too if I had a son as obstinate as you are.
Oh, Joyce, I'm glad I caught you and Mervyn together. Good news. The blockade's all but over. The trucks will be gone very soon.
That's marvellous.
Oh, terrific.
Now, I need a complete rundown of immediate food requirements as soon as possible after dinner, if that's all right.
I'll get right onto it.
I really appreciate the way you've coped.
Well, I did whatever I could.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, I suppose that stops all arguments, doesn't it?
Frankly, I'm not sure that it does.
But Mervyn, Mrs. Reynolds just said the blockade was over. There's nothing left to argue about.
Yes and no. What if the same situation occurs again? Would you still blindly follow the union no matter what?
I wouldn't blindly follow anyone, but if that's how the membership voted, yes.
Well, there you are. We're back where we started, the union above all else.
But there has to be solidarity. There is no point in having a union unless there is. And how would we get better working conditions?
Why don't you ask the women whose food you refuse to bring in? Perhaps they can tell you.
That's not fair. You know, I was quite happy to bring in that food. It was just that Bolton fellow. Mervyn Pringle, you're an impossible man.
On with the jobs, all of you.
Yeah, well, you reckon it's fair. What about us? At least you get to go home at night. I suppose so. Some of me mates in Barnhurst are going to be there for life. They're going to die there.
What did they do?
Well, one of them was about 30 years ago, I think. Anyway, she did her block one day and killed her old man. She didn't mean to. She's just going to thump him back, but she's one of them.
Did she have any kids?
Yeah, it got taken away from her. See, that's the other thing. People forget about you when you're inside. It's real easy. Oh, and Jules, did I tell you about her?
You mean Jules?
Yeah. Do you know, they wouldn't even let her out when her mum was dying. I mean, how rotten can you get? No wonder people kill themselves in here, you know.
Is that what, I mean, those marks on your wrist, did you, well, you know.
Yeah, come on, we better go to dinner.
Terry, home. Terry, you there? It's typical of the unions. They'd be prepared to starve us to death just to make their point.
You stop whinging and eat. You're giving me a headache.
Well, you, of course, will support those communists.
We don't know if it is the unions, William. Besides, you asked for a small serve.
Can you blame me? It's rice this, rice that. It's awful.
Oh, I don't know. I like rice. Don't you, Jen?
No. As a matter of fact, I hate it. Please stop feeling sorry for me.
Hey, come on.
Hey, what's your bite over? Well, can't you give her a speeding ticket
Look,
or
you just
something?
get your food and sit down.
Yes, Mrs. Morris. Of course, Mrs. Morris. Hey, it's rice. What a surprise. Thought it might have been rice again. Thanks for minding my spot.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah, I do impersonations too.
You ever done uppers?
Maybe. A Benny or two. Look, if you're thinking of nicking any, I'm all out.
Just happens I got some to sell. Like a throw.
Yeah? You for real?
Yep, so most of them. But I could always find you a few, if you're interested.
I'll let you know.
Hey, how about some more entertainment, Lennox? Like climbing the walls, for instance. Or going 10 rounds with Collins.
Yeah, well, I wasn't ready for her, was I?
What are you doing in the queue again, Kelly?
I was just getting
You
me mate.
know there is not enough for second serves. Now sit down.
But I need me vitamins.
Don't argue. Sit down.
bitch! What are you looking at me for, moron? Did you trip her up, Kelly?
Ask her. Lennox?
I fell over, Mrs. Morris, that's all.
Pity about your meal. They don't serve seconds around here.
Go to Mr. Pringle and get a mop and clean it up.
There's something going on between those two.
Yeah. Liz been very tight-lipped about how she cut her hand.
Maybe Nikki did it with that knife you told us about.
I think it's time I found out.
But I don't understand. Vandalising the one thing that meant most to you, not to mention damaging yourself in the process.
I started remembering things. Playing the grand piano at home. The sound of the room. The beautiful feeling that music gave me. I can't stand it here.
You can't afford to crumble, Jenny, not with your retrial coming up.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't help it.
You've also deprived the other women of one of their few luxuries. I've got no option but to prevent you from playing the piano for the next 4 weeks.
I'll pay for the damage out of my own money.
That'll certainly help as far as the other women are concerned. Could you take her back, please, Mrs. Morris?
Of course.
Jenny, I do know what an ordeal this is for you, but I want you to promise you won't do anything like this again. Promise?
Guess what? Good news!
Yes, well, Terry, before we talk about that, I think we should
want to
get
hear
some-
what it is?
Yes, but Terry, the house, it was like a
Forget
pig...
the house. Something incredible's just happened. I've got a job.
Something wrong, Mervyn?
No, I was just looking to see I had everything, that's all.
You ready then?
Yes, I'm all set.
Then we better go.
Yes, we better. Joyce,
Mervyn,
look,
do we
I'm
really-
sorry. You know, I think we're a couple of silly duffers letting a little thing like this upset us so much.
I'm sorry I snapped at you earlier, Mervyn.
No. I should be apologizing to you. I've been totally unreasonable.
Yes, well, you were a little bit stubborn.
Only because I believe so deeply about it.
Of course you do. But I do too. Otherwise I wouldn't have... Oh, listen to me. There I go again.
Look, I think it's this place. How about we have a nice quiet evening together? Watching that lovely old musical on telly tonight.
Good.
And I'll cook us a lovely meal.
Oh, I'll cook.
No. I'll cook. What do you fancy?
Anything. As long as it isn't rice.
I don't like to serve rice for every meal, you know.
I know that, Mervyn.
I mean, I wouldn't have to if the officers hadn't made my task more difficult, would I?
Now, look, that is not fair.
I hardly think depriving the women of a proper diet fair either.
Mervyn Pringle, you can jolly well catch the bus home. And don't expect to find a meal waiting when you get there. Or a musical.
Hi, Daffy. Oh, hi, Jen. How you feeling? I was going to come and see you, but Nor thought you wanted to be quiet and stuff.
Yes, I did.
Did you hurt your hands much?
Oh, they're all right. Look, I'm going around to see everyone to apologise for what I did to the piano, and I wanted to see you first.
It doesn't matter, Jen.
But it's going to interrupt your practice.
Yeah, only for a bit, though.
I am sorry. And I'm going to stop being so silly.
Hey, I'm still the champion donkey brain around here, okay?
I think we both win prizes.
Yeah, except you're clever. I'm really stupid. You know, yesterday I thought I was dying of hunger and I was being real silly. It's real silly when you think about all them little kids around the world who are really dying of hunger.
Yeah, I know. Look, from now on, we've got to promise ourselves we're going to be tough.
Yeah, of course we're tough.
I feel better already, don't you?
Yeah.
It's sort of a public relations job. Lots of running around, looking after bigwigs, organising conferences, the whole bit. I can't wait to start.
Certainly sounds more exciting than Wentworth.
They're one of the biggest security companies in the state, and it was the only job where my experience counted for anything.
Oh. Well, now that's out of the way.
Oh, no,
How
I
about-
forgot to pick up my dry cleaning on the way home. I wanted to wear that beige dress tomorrow, make a good first impression.
Well, they might still be open.
No, they always close on the dot of 6. It's too bad I'll just have to win them over with sheer personality. This job's going to mean big changes, you know. For both of us, there's going to be a whole new bunch of people to socialise with.
Yes, I suppose so.
Though the manager did warn me I might have to work back occasionally, maybe even stay out of town overnight if the need comes up.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of pressure.
Oh, you know me, I thrive on it. By the way, what was that you wanted to say to me when I came in? I'm so vibed up I forgot to ask.
Oh, it was nothing. Couldn't have been. I've forgotten myself.
Hey, got any of that fancy hand cream of yours? I'm all out.
Yeah, sure.
Big day tomorrow. Got to look after my dealing fingers, keep them supple.
For poker?
Oh, no. I'm going to arm wrestle Annie May. Of course it's for bloody poker. I am going to teach Lennox a few of the finer points.
I thought we weren't supposed to encourage her.
No, cut the crap and give me the cream.
But you know what she's like. She tries to bully everyone.
She's also got her mitts on some bennies, which I intend to take off her fair and square at that poker table.
Benzodrine?
Yeah, that's what I said, bennies.
And just how many have you taken tonight, Lex?
Not bad, huh? Got good times written all over them. Maybe it's worth having them brats around after all.
Why is it always pills and drugs?
Why not? You've got to get by somehow.
Yeah, but you set up a vicious circle. You supply a demand for drugs and people will bring them in.
Look, I don't want to hear it. Look, I'm doing you all a favour by taking them off her hands anyway. So we'll just leave it at that. Maybe if you're a good little professor, I'll give you a couple. Stop you getting so uptight.
You're just making it worse for everyone.
Don't tell me what to do! Look, oh, I'm sorry, Chuka. Look, I didn't mean to freak you out. Not after what Lennox did to you. I didn't hurt you, did I? Look, I just lost my cool, okay?
You just can't see it, can you? You're going to ruin Nikki's life as well as your own.
Look, for every one of her you help, there are 10 that are going to bugger it up anyway. What's the diff? I said I was sorry. Hey, we're still mates, aren't we?
Well, I think it calls for drastic action. I mean, Cindy's coming along nicely, but that Nikki...
Some people are just born nasty.
Oh, is that the best you can do? Why don't you do something constructive and make us all a nice cup of Milo?
Not for me, thanks. I still think there's hope, but we're going to have to change tactics. Be a bit more subtle than we have
Oh,
been.
how can you be subtle with someone that goes around pulling knives on people?
I can't imagine that ruffian ever listening to reason.
I think she might.
Oh, yeah, sure. If she's hit over the head with it, maybe.
Or if we play the old good cop, bad cop routine. You know, one of us plays the heavy while the other sticks up for her. Show her she needs friends or she'll go under.
Well, it's worth a try. Nothing else seems to be working.
Yeah, well, it'd have to be pretty convincing. You'd better not take part, madam. Not after the botch-up you made of pretending to lose your memory.
I'll have you know I won the 6th grade drama prize. I will not have May Collins disputing my thespian talents. I insist on playing the nasty one.
Oh, well, that'll solve all the problems. She'll die laughing.
I think the other role would suit you better.
Well, all right. At least I'll be helping out, which is more than I can say for some people.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'll be the heavy, and you'd better be good, madam, or I'll get very heavy with you.
Fair enough. We'll work out the details tomorrow. And let's hope it works.
Oh, there's one other thing, though. I thought of it earlier. It might fit in with what we're doing.
Well?
I don't think you'll like it, Willie. It involves a former friend of yours, Queenie Marshall.
How does she fit into all this?
She might just put the icing on the cake. Teach Nikki a lesson on the outside on top of the one we're trying to teach her inside.
I don't see why you have to rush. After all, you are the governor.
As such, I'm supposed to set an example to my staff. If I roll into work late, I can hardly expect them to be on time.
Surely once wouldn't matter.
What to me? Even if I hadn't slept in, I'd still be late. Why do I have to be the one to speak to Ben every time he calls? What's the matter between you two?
I can't be bothered with a man.
For heaven's sake, tell him. I can't speak to him every 5 minutes and make excuses.
He doesn't care about anyone except himself, an absolute opportunist. I mean, he's got no right to drop Daphne's case just because he wants to get himself some fancy title.
Well, you may be surprised to know he's changed his mind, opportunist or not.
What?
He's given up the chance to be this state's youngest ever Supreme Court judge just to give Daphne the best possible chance in court.
When did all this happen?
Oh, you were out when you rang last night, otherwise I would have told you then. I think he wanted to tell you himself, but of course if you won't speak to him...
God, I feel such a heel.
Tell him that. You might find he's more understanding than you thought.
I'll see you this afternoon when I come in for my class. Is it okay if I see Jane?
I'd like you to. I must fly.
Here, use this one, dear. I've left it clean.
Sure. Better watch out for the mobile dandruff.
Don't judge others by yourself, Louise.
Poor little love. You better keep an eye on her.
Yeah, it's not like her to take to the piano like that.
Well, having to go all through that trial again, it's enough to drive anyone round the twist.
Let's hope she's got it out of the system. I wouldn't want her to hurt herself again.
Oh, she's too smart for that.
How you going, Granny?
Not like others I could mention.
You reckon she's high?
I'd take odds on it. She's not the only one either.
That's what I thought. I wonder where she's getting her yippee beans from.
Hi, Lexi, feeling good?
You all know, right?
Good. What are you dropping?
Nothing. Just feeling good, that's okay?
Yeah, sure. But how about telling me where you're getting this stuff so I can feel good too?
I don't know what you're on about. Can I be in a good mood for once, eh?
I doubt it.
Laura,
Yes.
I know who's supplying them.
Who?
I don't want to lag.
I'm one of us, remember?
It's Nikki. She's selling amphetamines and tranquilizers at $1 a go. Look, I don't want to make any trouble. It's just that if it gets out, the department will squash the whole program. I don't want that to happen.
You did the right thing, but don't worry about it. We're supposed to be helping these kids, so we'll find a way of handling it without involving the screws. All right?
Where the hell's my lipstick?
Here, where you left it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, if you put things away after you've used them, they're easier to find.
You know it's my first day at a new job. There's no need to pick on me.
Picking on you, Terry, but there are two of us living in this house, and I don't see why I should be the one to do all the tidying up.
I can move out if you like. I will if you'll be happier.
Oh, of course not.
But whatever I do, you're always finding fault. I think you're getting tired of me.
I'm not.
Does my hair look all right at the back? I'm having lunch with the boss and I want to make a good impression.
Yeah, it's fine. Now, come on, get going or you'll be late.
I'm ready.
Hey, good luck. Be thinking of you.
Thanks.
Morning, Margaret. Morning,
Oh, good
Nan.
morning.
Thank God those trucks have gone. We got any food yet? Should be here sometime this morning, but we have had one delivery. Here. These are for you. Who on earth would be sending me flowers? Oh, the minister, perhaps? Not unless there's a bomb in the middle of them. They're from Harry Wheeler. Oh, he's the truckie that led the blockade, isn't it? Yes. He says these are to thank you for talking to Bullock. The drivers were offered a settlement of $5,000 each and they decided to accept it. Well, at least that has a happy ending. He says you were right about Bullock. So bent, I'd reckon he'd have to sleep in a hammock. Well, maybe you should think of taking up politics now that you've proven you've a talent for solving industrial disputes. No, thank you. I'm just glad my approach to Bullock had the desired effect. I'd hate to think what would have happened if I'd had to give the story to the press. Well, you could have brought the government down. Well, I don't know about that, but I'm sure at least two people would have joined the unemployment queue. The minister and me. Well, I'm glad that hasn't happened. Me too. Oh, I rang that piano man. They're sending somebody out this afternoon. Oh, good. Oh, and Queenie Marshall rang. She wants to visit May Collins. I said I'd have to check with you first. Oh, yes, let her come. May doesn't get many visitors. Oh, how were our young day prisoners this morning? Well, we found a few contraband oddments when we searched them. Drugs? No. A steel comb with the tail fastened to a point and the homemade knuckle duster. You know, just kid stuff.
You have to do better than that, young lady. It's the trouble with your generation. Huh? pride in your work.
Most of them haven't got any, so how can they take a pride in it?
You can while you're here.
No wonder you got Nick, kid. You can't even learn to fold a sheet properly. You'll never be able to beat the coppers.
Any luck with Queenie?
She's coming to see me later.
Good.
Want something?
I hear you've been spreading a few goodies around.
So?
So nothing. Just stay cool and don't advertise. We don't want the screws getting into the act, do we?
No. So it's cool, right?
Since you mention it, I have the most horrendous headache. I always get one when May's in one of her fishwife moods, forever carping at me.
Well, there you go, getting your knickers into a twist again. It's always my bloody fault.
Invariably. I don't suppose you'd have such a thing as a Valium, would you, dear?
No sweat. It'll cost you $1. Got the dough?
By that detestable turn of phrase, I presume you mean $1.
You got a deal.
Go, you shut your mouth, get her. Punch it.
Here, Julie, put them in the wash, they'll rinse away nicely. Oh, what have we got here?
Ow! Now give me that.
Anyone tries to take this off me ends up like chopped liver.
Let her keep it. Don't take the chance of someone getting carved up.
That's good advice. I suggest you listen to it.
We've got plenty of time, we'll grab it off her later, when she least expects it.
Just try, you bitch, and you'll be whistling God Save the Queen through your belly button.
Cut the power.
Oh, geez. You can fix it, can't you?
Yeah, but we're going to have to be more careful if we're going to finish this job today.
Oh, we've done about half of them.
Yeah, give me a look. Try Herman's new place. A German restaurant on Thomas Street. Wiener Schnitzel, our specialty. You set the type for this, didn't you?
Yes, so what?
Because it's Wiener Schnitzel, not Wiener Schnitzel. It's spelt with a V. Now we're going to have to do the whole bloody lot again. Ow!
Oh, you okay?
Yeah, I'll live. Just wait till I get my hands on that little bitch.
Oh, come off it, Lou. She's not worth doing more time for.
I should care. I'm going to spend the rest of my life in this joint anyway. I'll bash the hell out of her.
Don't forget, she's very handy for bringing in dough.
Yeah, very bloody handy.
Hey, that's why you wanted the dough, isn't it? You were going to do a deal and cut me out.
Oh, what's this, Kelly? I thought you would have had the presses really rolling.
Yeah, well, we would have had the job done by now, only Dumbo here never learnt to spell.
You mean to work without your little mates today, eh?
What little mates?
You know, Patterson, those apprentice crims you lot are supposed to be trying to reform.
Pack of bloody trouble, they are.
Oh, I could have told you that. But you brought it all on yourselves. You didn't have to go along with the idea.
Well, we didn't know what we were getting in for.
Ah, come on, Kelly. You've been around long enough to know you can't reform scum like that. So anything you get, you deserve.
What about the dough? You were going to cut me out, weren't you?
No, I just wanted to make sure it was organised right, that's all.
It's real good of you, mate. And I suppose that freak will be called St. John of Wentworth when she kicks it too.
Sounds like a good idea, May. I reckon I can get a few of my mates to pitch in.
Thank you, dear. Now, we'll need a couple of blokes that look the part. You know.
No worries, a couple of my clients used to be wrestlers. Does Nora know about this?
Oh, she's all for it.
Just how much of a scare do you want to put in this kid?
Like a double dose of Cenopods.
Oh, when we're finished with her, she might just want to enter a convent.
Look, Queenie, this isn't a lark. We've got to see that this kid goes straight. It's not just her future I'm thinking about. She is dirty enough on the world to croak a couple of people before the law puts her away for good.
I'm glad you could come. I wouldn't have blamed you if you wanted nothing more to do with me.
I was intrigued. I'd been trying to get you on the phone for 2 days. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, you call me and ask me to lunch.
I was wrong about you. I owe you an apology.
What for?
Don't pretend you don't know. I was angry with you when I had no right to be. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted. I should make you angry more often.
I'd rather you didn't.
It's nice. Very nice.
It was a present from a Japanese friend.
Ah, so, domo arigatsu gozaimasu.
Didn't know you spoke Japanese.
I don't. I read Shogun like everybody else.
Make yourself comfortable, Ben. I thought we'd have a relaxed meal in here.
It looks delicious.
Thought we'd get some decent tucker now the blockade's over. That lunch wouldn't keep a sparrow alive. Crying about it won't help. Merv told you the supplies hadn't got here yet. Oh, yeah. Knowing that bulldust artist, he's probably flogged the supplies by now.
Oh, shut your mouth, Kelly.
Queenie say to take long to set up?
Well, she didn't say, but we'll be hearing from her soon.
Oh, Jenny's getting her head together.
She'll come through all right.
Do you think they'll be able to repair it okay? Yes. Probably did more harm to myself than to the piano.
Well, there's no point having it fixed. You'll probably kick the crap out of it next time you go down at your trial.
I'll see you. Not bad. In fact, bloody miraculous. Considering I've got bullets on the roof.
You cheating little bitch, I'm gonna rip you! Come on! Come on! Come on!
No, I ought to let Kelly have you.
I'm not scared of you, I'm not scared of anyone! She was cheating, the rotten bitch! So are you!
Tear down, both of you. We can take care of this right now. Any suggestions?
I'm gonna smash her bloody face in!
It's between the two of them. Let them battle it out.
Any objections? No. Okay, clear a space. Keep neat. Come.
Go right in, Mr. Lockwood.
Thank you.
There it is. That's a relief. I was afraid I might have lost it.
Younger brother?
No, he's nothing to do with me. That's Jones.
Joan?
Yes, my landlady. Well, friend too. She owns the house.
And just the two of you live here?
Yes, we used to work together. Joan lived alone for years, and when she offered to share, you know how it is, I didn't like to say no.
So you're kind-hearted too?
Oh, it wasn't entirely selfless on my part. The rent's reasonable, and we get along quite well.
Right, well, we better get to the restaurant before they give our table to someone else.
Thanks for stopping on the way, Mr. Lockwood. I'm sorry if I put you out, but it was a present from my father.
Oh, that's okay, but please, don't call me Mr. Lockwood. Makes me sound ancient.
You certainly don't look it.
Call me Barry, please.
All right. After you, Barry.
Flynn, make sure this mess is cleaned up before you go back to work.
Had enough! Get stuff! Come on, don't give up!
That's enough, you'll kill her.
Pity to rush, but I've got to see Daphne at Wentworth.
I've got a class there later. Perhaps we could grab a drink somewhere afterwards.
Oh, sorry, Pip, but I'm going to be pretty busy for the rest of the day.
That's okay. There's always tomorrow.
I don't think so either. I'll tell you what, I'll call you when I find some time.
Don't do me any favours.
Look, we both know what this lunch was all about, don't we? You're not going to go all irrational and female on me,
You
are
may be used to using women any way that suits you, Ben, but don't try it with me. I'm nobody's doormat.
Let's get one thing straight. You're a liberated woman and I respect that. But if we're going to have any sort of relationship, I expect you to make room for my point of view also.
Which is?
No ties, no promises, and no commitments.
All care and no responsibility, is that it?
Thanks for a delicious lunch.
Better get a move on, dear, or we'll fall behind on our schedule.
Screw the schedule.
Really, Nikki, your vocabulary is terribly limited. My teachers in Switzerland would have been appalled.
Screw your bloody teachers too.
My dear, I absolutely abhor violence, but if you're rude to me just once more, I'll be forced to punch your teeth in.
You're just like the rest of these bitches. Got it in for me just because I can stand up for myself.
You're wrong about that, kid. We reckon you got a lot going for you.
Yeah?
Yeah. In fact, there's a few of us who want to have a chat with you after work.
No bloody way. You just want to get me somewhere so you can bash me again.
Wouldn't be bothered. We just want to talk, that's all.
What about?
You'll find out.
rid of that knife yet?
No. I've cleaned off the dabs, but I don't know what to do with it.
Why don't you just give it to someone who's on cleaning duty? They can dump it on the gov's desk.
Can't take the chance of the wrong person getting hold of it. Anyway, she'd call a cell search for sure.
What else are you going to do?
Take it in and hand it over myself. It's worked before.
Any sign of a food delivery yet, Joan?
No, nothing yet. I dare say the department has more important things to worry about.
I don't know about that. These women have been sentenced to jail, not starvation.
They're still eating better than a lot of people on the outside.
It is hardly the point. They realise the blockade's over, and they got pretty stroppy at lunchtime when they still found they were on half rations.
Well, it's up to the department. Not much we can do about it.
At least I can phone the suppliers and see what's happening. Otherwise, someone will have to be sent out and get food for dinner.
Whose is it?
I can't answer that.
In that case, we better have a cell search and find out what other weapons are in the prison.
No point. It was brought in from the outside.
By a visitor?
I promise it's got nothing to do with any of the women.
Then it must have been brought in by one of the juveniles. I'll have to get to the bottom of it. I'll question the girls myself and see that whoever this belongs to is punished.
You'd be better leaving it to us.
You better explain that to me.
Mrs. Reynolds, we're having problems with one of the kids, but we're committed to helping them whether they like it or not.
What do you suggest?
If this scheme's going to work, it's going to be because of us. Because we scare them into going straight.
I accept that's the basis of the scheme, but we can't let them flaunt authority.
Right. But a day or two in the pound will only give them more glory in the eyes of their mates. We've got a plan for the troublemaker, and I'll take odds it'll work.
I don't know what you have in mind, but whatever you did to Lisa Snell worked perfectly.
Good, so we can go ahead.
I'm not too sure about it, Nora, though I accept that your intentions are good.
How about if I promise we won't break any prison regulations or go against the guidelines you've set?
That makes me feel better, but it would seem to limit any plan you've got.
Not really. We don't have to follow any guidelines on the outside.
Oh, I'm beginning to see.
I'll keep my word. And what you don't know can't hurt you.
That's something I've never been too sure about, but all right. You can go ahead for now.
Thanks. And I promise you won't regret it.
So what do you want?
Shut up and answer the question.
Do as she says, dear. It'll be better for you.
You think you're a real tough little piece, don't you?
Why don't you try me, Grandma?
Be careful, Nicky. Don't upset her.
She don't scare me.
Yeah? Well, how did you like to be shut in here with me for a while? Just the two of us.
You'd come off worse.
I wouldn't take odds on it, kid.
Try putting your dirty hands on me and find out.
They're screaming to the screws, wouldn't you?
No way.
It'd be the safest thing to do, dear.
I don't give a stuff. I've never caught copper in my life and I ain't starting now.
I think that's enough, Nora. I think she's the one for the job.
What job?
Well?
Oh, she'll do, I reckon.
Sit down, kid.
Hey, what the bloody hell's going on here?
We've put every new prisoner through this test for months. The short-term ones. You've done better than any of them. You've got nerve.
What's it for?
Might as well tell her.
You should, you know. She's the one who'll be risking her life.
My life?
That's right. We've had something big planned for months. Something really big. But we needed somebody on the outside. You'll do fine.
What are you after? Drugs? Booze?
That's chicken feed.
We're going to break out of here.
We need somebody to pick up the artillery and shoot a few guards for us. We reckon you're just the killer we need.
Oh, thanks, Anne. I needed that.
You're welcome.
And how's Daphne's case looking?
Well, I think we're about an even money chance to get the appeal through. I must admit I'm happier now that I've decided to take it myself.
And Pippa might be talking to you too.
Oh, that's already fixed. As a matter of fact, we already had lunch today. And I think we enjoyed each other's company.
Good. You seem to get on well together. Sometimes, at least.
Well, I don't think our relationship could ever be described as dull.
I'm afraid I have to take some of the blame for Pippa. She was always headstrong, never really happy unless she had her own way.
Yes, well, she's certainly not going to chew me up and spit me out like every other man in her life.
Bit harsh, isn't it?
No. Oh, we'll probably fight like Kilkenny cats for the next few months, but you'll just have to bear that. I don't expect her to swallow her own medicine without some sort of struggle.
You sound determined to give her a hard time.
Oh, I am. In fact, I'd rather you didn't say anything just yet. I'm determined to marry her.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. but that was on the outside. And things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside, the roses grow. They don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here